Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Tourist Board, it's actually not the regular meeting date, but welcome. We had to postpone it before due to the elections. Today being November 13, 2023, we're going to conduct our regular meeting. Can the town clerk please call the roll?
Yes. Chair Turgeman,
Here.
Vice Chair Jacobson,
Here.
Board Member Gonzalez.
Here.
Board Member Carp is absent. Board Member Singer is absent. Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. The next order of business is in the agenda, item number 2. Is there any deletions?
No.
Do I hear anything from the board? No?
No.
Any changes on the agenda items?
Mr. Chair, just looking at these items on here, I think we should table 6I.
6I is, okay. Do you want to make a motion on that,
Yep.
sir?
Motion to table 6I.
Do I hear a second?
Motion to what, sorry?
To table it.
Okay, I'm second.
Town clerk, please call the roll.
Board Member Gonzalez,
Yes.
Vice Chair Jacobson,
Yes?
Chair Turgeman.
Here, thank you.
Motion carries.
Mr. Chair, I also have another motion.
Yes, sir?
I'd like to do a reordering of the items to group them by vendor and to allow the people to get out here in a normal hour.
Okay.
If I may. So I'd like to make a motion to change the orders as follows. 6 Alpha, 6 Hotel, 6 Mike,
Wait a minute, 6 Alpha,
Alpha,
6 Hotel,
Hotel.
1 second, yes.
6 Mike,
6 Mike,
Yeah.
yes.
then 6 Bravo,
6 Bravo on the top,
then 6 Charlie,
6 Charlie.
then 6 Kilo,
Boy, we eliminated
We're
most.
changing all.
Changing the whole order.
Don't keep
Yes.
it and we go
then
back.
6 Lima,
6 Lima, okay.
then 6 Delta,
6 Delta, okay.
6 Echo,
6 Echo,
6 Fox,
6 Fox,
6 Golf,
6 what?
6 Golf, G's in Golf,
Okay,
and then 6 Juliet.
6 Juliet. That's the whole agenda.
Well, we're changing the whole agenda.
So what the request
Oh,
is
he
that,
wants
for
to
the-
put it
so
together.
that's the motion for now, and then the request for the future is that staff group all of these by vendors at the beginning and in order so that they can come and go and they don't have to stay here through all the individual items that appear.
Yeah, but these are different proposals,
Yeah.
different vendors.
Correct, but now all the vendors are grouped as been suggested.
Okay. All right, so we want to change all of this to group them the way that you stated.
Correct.
Chair, could you speak closer to the mic or bring the mic closer to you? Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Nope.
You have to-
How's that?
Perfect.
Okay, sorry. Okay, in order to change all of this, do I hear a motion to do so?
Vice Chair Jacobson motioned. I just need a second.
Okay. Do I hear a second? No?
No, because it's a whole agenda. I mean,
Yeah,
Well,
the,
what
the,
it-
the idea is,
we're going to put it where before number 5?
no, we're just rearranging 6.
Ah,
Here, look, you could see.
Board Member Gonzalez, what they're trying to do is everybody, let's say Mr. Andi that is here, all his items to be heard at the same time.
okay.
So he's up there once doing the presentation.
Okay. Okay. I'm second.
Okay,
Okay.
Board Member Gonzalez,
Yes.
Vice Chair Jacobson,
Yes.
Chair Turgeman.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Before we continue, I'd like to make a note that we've been joined by our town manager, Hector, as well as the town attorney, Daniela, and as well as Frank, our tourist director. I just wanted to make a note, and of course Cindy.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. question I have now, and before we move to the approval of the minutes, which is very quickly, are we going to move to hear all of these before anything else?
Oh, there was another thing. I think at the last meeting, we directed the town to put public comments at the beginning so that people could speak at the beginning on all the items.
Right,
And that still seems to be at the end.
right.
So if, I guess if I could also make a motion to move public comment to,
That's what I was getting
or
at.
6.
Okay. Do I hear a second on that?
But
The-
Ben,
Diana, the public
I know,
comments
but the-
is at the end.
yeah, I know, but how the people is going to speak about the comment, all the agenda if they don't hear about it?
Well, we
Are
could
they going
have,
to
we
make
could have a
comments?
couple. We can have public comments at the
In the
beginning
beginning and the end?
and at the end, yes.
Ah, okay, that way
Is
we
that,
need
is that
more.
correct? We can have as many, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
My
because,
understanding is that we could have many public comments.
ah, okay. But then I
Normally,
Yes,
if I can, normally
yes,
in commission meetings, we'll have them speak in the beginning on all those items. So either you leave public comment like they stated now, or you just hear them per item.
well, the problem with that is that if somebody does a presentation, they want to speak about it,
Mhm.
you know, they can't come up before it's presented.
Exactly. Exactly.
Correct.
So my question is, I can go along with this, truthfully, as long as we have one at the end, public comments at the end, just in case we have another
In
speaker.
case, exactly.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah, because, again, if we put it on the front, how is that person gonna know about the presentation
Exactly.
and comments on that
Exactly.
presentation? Until the presentation is
Patients
done.
complain. Okay,
I prefer to make if you can
Okay.
rehearse
The motion,
the motion that we can add a beginning and end, I will
Well, I
be
think-
happy.
right now you can get cards for all the way across, right?
sorry?
Right now you can have cards on individual items.
Correct.
So anybody can hand in a card to speak on any item they want to speak on.
Exactly.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
But they have
But
to
we
listen
don't-
to the presentation first to speak against it or for it or, you know.
right, if they put a card in, this is just a general public comments item. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to pull my motion and make it easy.
No, 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 no.
May- maybe.
Let's do yours. Diana, I think is in agreement, as long as we do one further down the road.
Just to be open that the people don't complain that we are just, if they weren't in the beginning, it's not fair to leave it at the end. You know, it's that they don't have a chance. at
So
the end.
I guess the question is then, should we do public comments at the beginning to let anybody open it up and talk about anything?
Right.
Then each individual item they can speak on, and then that's it, it's done. There's no need for one at the end if they've been able to speak on every item.
Well, but they can't speak unless the item is presented. That's my
Right,
point.
I'm saying, so just, we're moving this public comments to, well, it doesn't really matter. It's all the
To leave
same.
it open. Yeah, I agree too. Because what he says is that people has a choice to be speaking in every item.
Right.
After they finish.
After they finish. I mean, after the presentation
After
is
the
done,
presentation.
then they know to put in their 5 senses into it
Uh-huh.
if they want to.
Okay.
But if we do that at the beginning without hearing the presentation, how are they going to make the public comments on it?
So,
I have a comment on this.
Then we leave it like this.
Okay, if I may, each
Better.
item, like the vice chair had stated, anybody can fill a public comment card, speaker card for each item. Then they can come up after the presentation and speak on that item.
Mm-hmm.
The public comment at the end is for anything that is not on the agenda.
Oh, that changes the story then. Okay.
Yeah.
So the public comments is for item not in.
and not on the agenda. That's like good and welfare, basically.
Correct.
Mhm.
Correct.
All right, so you can,
Keep it.
so let's leave
Leave
it,
it.
leave it, perfect.
He has withdrawn.
So you withdraw your motion.
I withdraw my
Yes.
motion.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Clarifying.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, my God. This is getting really,
Yep.
I don't know if it's me or it's us, but anyway, the next item on the agenda is the Town Commission Liaison Report, who is not present. So we're going to move for the next item on the agenda, which is approval of the minutes of September 11, 2023. Any additions, deletions,
No.
approval?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I need a motion to approve, please.
I made a motion to approve.
Sorry.
Okay, I need a second.
I put Board Member Gonzalez as a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. We move next item to the resort tax collection and vacancies report, and that's Frank.
Thank you, Chair. So I did provide a new report which covered numbers from May through July. I actually just noticed a mistake on the report, so I would like to just point it out to the board. But when we look at the 2% food and beverage category, we are up 1.7% versus the previous year and 1.1% versus 2019. The 4% accommodation numbers, we're actually up 6.2% year over year. And then we're up 59% versus 2019. But that 6.2 corresponded to the year over year for the accommodation. So all in all, when we look at those summer months, which tend to be some of the slowest, we are doing better than we were a year ago. In checking in with finance, that little bit of a dip that we were seeing through some of the last season, it really looks to be leveling off, and we are bringing in similar, if not higher, numbers. In addition to that, in the downtown district, we've got a few new stores coming online. We've got the Wolfgang Bakery and Grooming, which I think has been in the works for a couple of years. They're finally opening up.
What is it? What kind of?
Wolfgang, it's a pet grooming and bakery. It's kind of a joint business, so they have a bakery and pet
Bakery
grooming.
and a pet
yes.
grooming?
I'm assuming that's a group, pet food, not food,
I
or?
think it might be food for humans as well. We have to do a deeper dive and obviously investigate it and promote it. It's got a cute angle to it, but potentially something for your pets and us owners as well. We also have a hat store coming online, Shirley's Hats, that was near Josh's Deli, where the old Her Royal Household store was, and a couple other boutiques, and Lucky Cigar is also going to be opening up very soon.
What's Lucky Cigar?
It's a cigar shop.
Like a bar, or just like the pipe store they have out there now?
Not too sure. I got to do a deeper dive as well once they open to see. But cigar oriented.
You did notice that Speculoos is closed, right?
It's closed.
Speculoos.
Apparently, it's renovating, so here it's not fully closing.
Oh, really?
I'm hoping, yes.
I
heard
hope
that it
so.
was a deep, robust renovation, but they will be opening again.
Oh, good. That's good news.
Yeah.
Because
Classic.
there's a very, very good restaurant. Okay, excellent. Okay. Any questions on the tax collection?
No.
No? Okay, we move then to the next item.
Just one last sorry thing. It seems that most of the reporting's gotten much better since the last report. I think there's one vendor that's still in penalty phase, but almost everybody else seems to be caught up. Is that true?
Yeah, and sometimes it's seasonal because certain business may sometimes, put off their payments for certain times of the year, and maybe, they catch up during a certain season. But for whatever reason, I did notice that, yeah, we have less pending,
Right.
which is good.
Okay, any other observation? No? Okay, we move to the next item, which is the discussion items, all grouped together.
An action item.
Sorry?
No.
No. All right, so we're gonna bring in the Taste of Surfside proposal by Alan Andai. Is he here? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he just was. Hey, Alan, let me just pop this up.
Alan, we do have a lot of items, so if you be so kind, or else I'm gonna have to chop it down. Sorry about that, but it is a big presentations of items. Yeah, so I appreciate it if you can
Hang on.
summarize it.
Sorry, give me just 1 minute. Maybe just give them a little background. I'm going to bring the file.
Yeah, so I believe this event was conditionally approved. There was a request by Ben to up the capacity to 250 guests. So we were able to reconfigure the numbers without increasing the budget. And so that's, I believe, what we are reproposing is everything will be the same, no request in budget. I believe we took a little bit of the grand pavilion area and scaled that down so that we could allocate more funds to be able to bring more guests in. So that was really the only change or request by the board to come back to.
Do we have a date on that? Do we have a date?
I believe when I spoke with Frank regarding the schedule, we felt that the second quarter would probably be the best, somewhere between April and May.
Okay, is the board amicable to that, or? No what?
No, I'm fine.
You're fine? All right.
I think this one we were trying to find a time either before busy season or after busy season. So that's why second
Yeah.
quarter.
Mhm.
Right.
All right,
I
awesome.
just want to make sure that the board doesn't have a problem with that. That's all.
Yeah.
So that's really it. Then I don't
Okay.
think
Yep.
we show you the-
It's
Yeah,
already
because
approved and
it's
done.
what-
You just have to pick a date.
I
Next,
believe you guys need to vote to approve it.
Oh, we
This is
have.
what you have here, right? On the,
It was what was originally presented. The request was to increase the guest capacity
for the passport?
for the passport event.
I thought we
Okay,
did that.
no.
No? Alright.
But and
All
I
right,
have
so
some
you need a
question about
motion?
the passport. What is going to be the passport price?
No, it's no cost to.
No, but how
cost.
many? You say
200
250.
It was, yeah,
What's 200, I think, before, right?
I was able to make it to 250.
Mm-hmm.
150, so we added 100 guests.
100.
It was 150.
You say
and
that there's no cost?
it's up to 250 if we get, and this will be an RSVP event. It will not be just open to show up. We can strategically say 200 participants, and then I can leave 50 for walk-ins. But if we immediately RSVP 250, I'll come back to you guys and say if you want to increase.
So we're absorbing all the costs on this passport?
Mm-hmm.
The entire
Mhm.
budget will cover. No one will have to pay to participate.
And
this
how
event.
we're,
We're okay with it.
Also, how we're going to select, because it's going to be a lot of people.
It'll be first come, first serve.
First come, first
So
serve.
we'll have to do an Eventbrite, RSVP. I'll coordinate with Frank and his team
Well,
to make sure.
If you could do it a couple of months in advance, that way if you
Mhm.
hit your 250 and there's a wait list now of another, like I would keep a wait list open. So that way you
We
tell
could
us.
launch it January and then let people know a full
Oh,
quarter
Ben-
in advance. And
And
then
then
I
you
can
come-
come back with you some data saying, guys, we're capacity. What do you guys want to do?
What
Right.
about then if we say 200 and we leave 50 as a,
It's a buffer.
yeah, as a
Okay.
buffer? Because otherwise
fine.
it's going to be, all the time.
All right.
That's a good idea.
All right, so we need a motion to approve this particular activity.
Motion to approve 6A.
Okay.
Skipping this one. So I think we're now on the
As
next.
stated, though.
As stated.
I need a second?
I'm second.
Second.
the-
Town clerk, please call the roll.
Board Member Gonzalez,
Yes.
Vice Chair Jacobson,
Yes.
Chair Turgerman.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, the next item is the third Thursday, I'm sorry?
Did you take that recommendation in place, that 200 and then
Yeah.
50 as
Yeah,
a
we're
50
done.
is a walk-in.
Diana, you need
Diana,
to
we're
speak
done.
into the mic.
We're done. Next item.
I got that. And we'll
Okay.
make sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next item, the
6B.
third Thursday proposal.
What is the next? Which letter we are now?
Just to make it easy, the next item is 6H,
H.
Right.
which is
Third
third Thursday.
Next item is the third Thursday.
Okay.
Just gonna pull it
Are
up.
we done there?
Almost there. So,
I can skip our intro. We've been working with the town since 2008. We appreciate the relationship. All of my company, we're in-house preferred. Had majority of the 4 and 5-star venues from the Breakers, the Biltmore, the St. Regis. We worked with our current president of the United States. So this is a history of Third Thirds and our involvement. I've obviously started as a strolling group and then moved on to what we know of today as the Block Party. As of last year, we moved it from 95th Street to 93rd Street. We've reconfigured where we created 3 zones. We have the tasting pavilion, we have the entertainment section, and then we have the kids art exhibition, photo booth, as well as our foundations that we've partnered with. I'm just going to skip to the themes because you all have experienced Third Thursday. So these are the concepts that we wanted to pitch here from the board, which ideas and themes you'd like to see for this coming series.
The only question I have is, how do we tie in the business district with this? Because the whole idea of the Third Thursday was business district.
So that's a great, oh, I thought that was your question.
Yeah, no, I
Uh,
mean, how do we tie?
So we actually took an initiative this year to make, or this last year to allocate the funds and reinvest it back into the district. And we exclusively partnered with the downtown district restaurants. We had the hair salons. We went to every single grassroots style campaign to every restaurant, and not every restaurant, every business store, and said, if you guys want to participate, we got Starbucks in, we had Subway, we had
Okay,
some of the
I got
large
it.
franchises. So everybody
Okay,
that got a chance to partake in the event got a chance to also taste the downtown district at Third Thursdays.
And I like you also put up signs for each individual restaurant so people knew what they were getting and can try to information. I mean, maybe these restaurants also want to give out coupon cards or something. So when they come there, they can go back to the restaurants and spend money.
I'll ask them if they want to do a Third Thursday discount and just mention Third Thursday or have a coupon, but we made sure that we also highlighted at each section where the restaurants were from. So we
Right.
heard that, and especially people that were tourists came by and said, where every staff member knew where the restaurants were from. And we actually heard from our business partners that people actually went after the event. So I think it was a full circle where we,
Okay. No, my biggest concern is this event, which is a great event, and it's been our feature event in Surfside, that we connect in our original basic thought of the business district with Third Thursday and the activity.
to take that to the next level, I actually went to every hotel and got them involved. And before the event, we put placards in not only hotels, but maybe you've seen in the condos information about the event.
Okay.
So we spoke with concierge. So we were very conscious to make sure that the visitors that were here for that week knew about the event as well.
All right, so do we need a motion to approve this activity
Well, I think we need to
We
pick the
need to
themes.
select some themes.
So these
right?
are the
Themes.
themes.
or the themes?
Um,
Select some themes.
So I believe we did it as a 5-event series. So it would be your top 5.
Yeah.
Here-
Well, I already did the homework. I already checked. I have some suggestions.
I can also share our most popular, but I'd love to hear from the board which ones you like first.
Yeah, well, I am always there, right? But I was for the Latin festival theme, for the Mardi Gras New Orleans theme, for the health and awareness.
Which one?
In the left side, Latin festival theme and Mardi Gras New
Yeah, I
Orleans
got those
theme.
two. And what's the other one?
In the right, health and awareness, yoga and Zumba, classic rock concerts because people always like classic rock, and the Great Gatsby night. Great Gatsby
That 1,
night.
2, 3, 4. Which is the fifth one? You have
Great
health,
Gatsby.
I have five.
have great.
Classic rock, health
Oh,
and
classic
awareness,
rock is the one,
Mardi Gras,
okay.
and Latin.
Yeah,
All right.
it's my suggestions, but
Okay.
go ahead.
Ben?
What was most popular from the ones that we did last, right?
The tropical night, I don't know if you remember, we had the big parade. That was the kickoff. That was the Caribbean night, sorry, not tropical night. The Latin night is always a hit. The health and awareness is one of the ones, I think that was one of the first ones we did. That was a popular event. We had different restaurants, but we also had presentations and demonstrations as well as
At the health?
health and awareness.
I don't think we got a lot for the skating, right? That was kind of like a tough one. in the end.
The issue was bring your own skates.
Yeah.
So I would, if we were going to do that again, it would have to be really pushed hard or bring your scooters.
Yeah. No, I don't think
Yeah, that didn't work so
Mm.
well.
so. Ben,
Casino
do you have
night,
any other?
casino night's kind of tough for that one. I mean, I always like karaoke, but what kind of karaoke would you do?
We
on
would
that?
do a karaoke DJ live concept. So you'd have the karaoke setup, and then we would include live musicians from the cover band that will sing. So you feel like you're singing along to a band, but it's with the tracks as well. So this way we don't have to worry about
terrible,
off-singer
terrible voices
keys.
like.
But
over
it's a
it.
popular one. It's fun.
I would like that one.
The Karaoke?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Latin, we have Mardi Gras, we have karaoke, we have health.
If I can make a suggestion, because
go
we're
ahead.
doing Mardi Gras and Great Gatsby, they kind of both have a
Yeah, because
jazz
they're
theme.
customs.
I would replace Great Gatsby with the karaoke if you're open to that.
Okay.
Superhero night?
What
What's
is it?
that?
So one of our concepts was I was inspired because we were hired by Parks and Recs to do the maze, the Halloween maze this year, and just everyone had so much fun getting dressed up. So I figured one night we could just have where the kids, the family, adults just kind of come up. We could do a contest. So just more of a kitschy, fun event, not so formalized, a little bit laid back.
I like reggae.
What?
Reggae.
Reggae? Which one?
Reggae tropical theme,
Mm-mm.
which nobody, no?
No. I don't.
Okay, I hear negative, so that's,
Well,
we
you
pull that
asked.
out. I was voted down immediately.
Yeah, we
Okay.
know.
All right, so are we in favor of a Latin festival to choose this one activity,
I
Ben?
think we had that, right? We
That's
had-
on there.
What's the 5 that we have right now?
So we have Latin, Mardi Gras, Health and Awareness, Classic Rock, and Karaoke Live.
Oh, we have 5 already.
Sorry?
We have 5 already.
Yeah, I know. Are we okay with those?
I'm okay.
You're okay?
Yes.
Because you suggested a couple other different ones.
I'm okay with that.
You're okay with that?
Alan, can you say which ones they were?
Sure. So Latin, not in this order, I'll
Right.
confer with Frank, but Latin Night, Mardi Gras, Health and Awareness, Classic Rock, and Karaoke Live.
Okay.
And this is from January to May?
Yep.
Did we push into June last year?
We
Or
pushed
we
it
pushed
to
into
May.
May? We pushed into May, okay.
To May, yeah, because we had 4 events, we did 5.
Can I make a suggestion? The daylight savings, no, it goes backwards. Never mind. That will be for the night, this coming event.
Yeah.
It's fine. This
Through
is
through the chair, I do have one question for this proposal, and because last year we went back and forth with the additional food budget and not food budget. I mean, we don't have it budgeted with that additional food budget right now as it stands. It's 24.5 per event. Do you guys want to consider that extra budget or no?
We did what,
No.
2,000?
Yes.
No.
Two.
No, I
We're
think.
going to remain the same.
Yeah,
Really?
The same? Okay.
A little extra food money?
No, because
We can do it.
no, because the problem is that always is public, and we have a lot of people from outside anyway, and it's gonna be never enough if we increase and increase and increase.
Well, we didn't. What did we do last year?
So we actually only utilized 1,500 of whatever maximum you allowed for the bigger events. It helped out.
It did?
It did.
Yeah, nobody ran out of food. Everyone was happy. It's not a lot of money.
Are you okay with the 1,500?
But no more.
Okay.
Are you okay with the
1,500.
1,500?
Yeah.
Are you okay with the
I'll make
1,500?
that work.
Okay.
Because I don't know if you remember, we missed because of a meeting, and then at that next event, I think somebody was absent, and within an hour, it was empty. So
Yeah,
Yeah, because
okay.
So this
Thanks
is,
for
a-
bringing it up.
this is an additional 1,500?
no,
Yes.
an
A
addition.
motion to add an additional 1,500 per third Thursday event through May.
Well, I think we'll just do it one big motion.
Exactly,
So the
one motion.
motion is to approve the third Thursdays, all 5 events as stated, with an additional $1,500 per event towards food. That is all.
Here a second.
What?
Okay, the motion dies for a minute, but I have a question, because you can redo it again. I have a question. What is the allocated funds that you have for this event in food?
off the top of my head, I'll have to pull up the invoice. The other thing we can do is if you want to play the first month with what it is, see how that goes, and then at the next meeting.
Yeah, my question is, what is the amount of money, as I stated before,
Yeah.
that has been allocated for these events? If I know the amount of money that's allocated in food versus, the
Other stuff.
artists and
Mhm.
music,
Mhm.
decorations and so on and so forth, then I think we can guide it better as to what we need to spend or what you have allocated, and then see if it's feasible for us to add an additional 1,500 or whatever.
Okay, so I'll, you want to I don't have that number.
We're gonna table it because
For the
I
foods,
don't hear it.
that's
I don't
fine.
hear a second.
Okay, so the food
So,
portion,
Yeah,
we
because
don't
we're
have.
going to increase now 3,000,
No,
actually.
no, we're not agreed. Last year, we had two events. We had events without the money and with the extra 2,000. He only used 1,500 or 2,000, and it was night and day. Like when they had the just without the extra money, they ran out of food, and that was it. There was no more to go out. When we had the extra $1,500, people were enjoying all the way until close, and there was never ran out. And that's not, I mean, we're spending all this money on events to have a situation where people come and they're out of food, and it's $1,500 on a, you know, $1.3 million budget. Like, let's make people happy. It's a small chunk of change.
yeah, but I think we can assess it better, Ben, if we knew how much we're spending.
Mhm.
Because it's really not supposed to be a dinner event.
Exactly.
It's supposed to be a bites event.
It is. It's bites from every restaurant in town. I mean, you
Yeah,
see
but
Subway.
that's what
You
I'm
see,
saying to you. If he tells me we have, the event is what, 24,000?
I
25.
believe so.
All right, round it out to 25,000. Okay, let's say round it up to 25,000. Out of the 25,000, Alan says, okay, I spend 20,000 in decorations, in furniture, in artists, and all that stuff, and I have $5,000 allocated to food.
I would say you're pretty, I don't have the breakdown itemized. I will bring it up at the next meeting, but I would ballpark in that vicinity is what we usually allocate on just the food section.
See, and I didn't even know, but
Oh,
that's
that's
basically
kind of in the
knowledge.
Mhm.
So would it make that big of a difference? And I think, Diana, you need to listen to this carefully. Would it make that big of a difference if we had $5,000 allocated originally,
Mhm.
and Ben is the Alan is the producer, and he's telling me that $5,000 he allocates for the food, and it would make a big difference, the $1,500. Is that what I'm hearing?
I'll give you a great example. We just had the beach soiree. We ran out at the first event. I spoke with Frank if we should allocate more. He said we can because today's a meeting. I personally added about $1,200, and we had food pretty much
Continuously.
almost to the end. So it
I,
does.
I don't want you to spend your money in our activities.
I understand, but
and I
that's-
appreciate that, but that's not the venue that we're going.
See,
Okay, and I appreciate you always cooperate, and that's the thing I like about you, because you always, if we need something, you don't hesitate to pump into it and own to it. So I appreciate that as a chair, and I'm sure that our board appreciates your doing. I just want to make sure that we're fair to you and fair to us.
Right. So it's the experience is there are guests that come at the last hour. They most likely won't be able to partake in some or even all. And the concept, and at every event, when we get low, I always try to find a board member and say, hey, just to let you know, or Frank, we're running low. What do you want me to do? And we've basically agreed on whatever's here, whatever was allocated, we stick to it. So it's just what the
So,
guest experience.
so Ben, do you want to restate your motion?
Well, what's the consensus?
1,500.
1,500? Okay. So motion to approve the third Thursdays, 5 third Thursdays as stated with the additional $1,500 for food.
A one-time $1,500,
No,
not,
it's 1,500 per event.
that was the original motion.
That was the original
Right,
motion.
that was turned down. Now he's restating it again, and I'm going to second the motion.
Okay. Board Member Gonzalez,
no.
Vice Chair Jacobson,
Yes.
Chair Turgerman.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, next,
I believe,
Next item is 6M.
which I believe is.
Seaside Soiree recap.
Yes, so through the chair, just to segue back into yesterday's event, and we wanted to talk about the food budget, but also the timing of the event, given that the time changed. So it was a lot darker at the event yesterday, and probably a little bit too dark to keep that same schedule, because close to 6 o'clock, it was almost really fully,
It was.
dark, and Alan still had to break down and clean the beach, and we want to make sure that he has enough light to do so. So I don't know if we want to move the event up, or we maybe want to shorten the event. I know there was also a question about the food running out. So perhaps if we did a 2-hour event, we could use those funds for extra food.
That was a 3-hour event, right?
3 hour.
Yeah.
Currently, yes.
Okay,
If I can just add a point, so we have hired staff that we pay extra at the end to comb the beach to make sure there's nothing left there. At 6 o'clock, it was pitch black. I made the executive decision around 5:45. I had the crew start working on that, but I just want to make sure that we leave it as pristine as possible. So that is also really the main reason to bring it a
We-
little
we sh-
earlier.
We should be done by 5, right? I mean, that's.
5 would be ideal.
5 would be ideal? So that would
5
start.
to 7?
No, that would be
It's 3 to
2
6, so it would either be 2 to 5 if we keep it to 3 hours, or
3 to 5. Yeah, because, I have a comment too also. That's why I disagree with this increase. When we are doing this in the beach, is again, we need to have a system. Otherwise, when the people, and more in Sundays, all the people is not really from the town. It's people from the beach mostly. And there is no way. I see them because I have been there. You see me. And the people is just seeing people who is really in the beach because they came from different places. They see, oh, it's free fruit. Let's go. And they send to all the kids. I mean, I feel bad for them, but they send everyone and they are there for the food.
But that's the whole
And
point, is to
that's-
draw people into the town. You want it to be full of people.
and then they
You want people
say,
to be coming.
Yeah, but
they
it's not.
say,
not
hey, I went to Surfside,
well, yeah.
had a grand time, and
Right.
they gave me free food. I think I'm gonna do it again.
And go to the
I'm gonna
restaurant.
tell all my friends, and everybody from all the
But-
counties are gonna be here.
one of
So
the things.
Exactly what
we
we're
can't
trying to
prevent
do.
that. Can't
We
prevent
want
saying,
that.
"No, you don't have it, and you
No,
do
Bal
it."
Harbor Prevent, they have a bracelet system.
Yeah, I know, but these events are open to the public.
These are tourist board, the.
Ah, well, then
tourists.
okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm just saying, you're right when you say, well, all these people come in but those people will remember that they were at Surfside Beach, even
Yes.
if they're coming from Coral Gables or they're coming from anywhere. They're gonna remember that they came here, there was free food, the activity was great. I think we ought to do it again. And so they'll come in and they'll explore the business district, and so on and so forth. So
Okay.
I think
Okay.
I see your point, but understand, I think, what the activity is all about. So,
Okay.
all right? So, we're looking at 2 to 5, 2 p.m. to 5,
2 to 5.
2 to
Yeah.
5. And what about the budget on food?
I mean, we could do another $500. It's a smaller event. Would you be able to make it with a 500?
Anything.
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 Well-
Okay.
Well, Diana is not really feeling,
To
Very-
your point, from what I understood and when we got involved with the tourist board, was to attract business from outside the area.
right. Well, that's covered.
I can't speak with everyone, but I make sure I really go through, and we have people coming in from New York. We've actually connected with a group out of Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a Hollywood social, and we send them the event. They post it to their community. They're coming down. They're coming from
Right.
Kendall.
Well, that's it. That's the purpose.
And then
that's
they
the
learn
purpose.
about
Yeah.
what.
Okay,
is-
so,
I would like to have more information, like you say, how is the money allocated for food? How much is for it?
right, well, I think that now Alan got my drift.
Yeah.
You know, for our next
Okay.
presentations, because I think we need to be aware of that.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's nice to know that we have this much. It wasn't enough, maybe, or was plentiful, so we have to cut it down. So we measure it that way.
Okay.
So now the question is, the budget, you said 500?
Yeah, if we could add 500 for the food, that way take some
And are
pressure off
you
Val.
okay with that?
Mhm.
Do we need a motion on this?
Yeah, probably. With a budget.
Okay.
And just to confirm, we are moving it up to 2 p.m.
I'll put it, so motion
Yeah,
is to.
2 to 5.
Motion is to move the time of the Surfside Beach Soiree from 2 to 5 p.m. and add an additional $500 per event for food.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'm second.
Board Member Gonzalez,
Yes.
Vice Chair Jacobson,
Yes.
Chair Turgerman.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you so very
Next
much.
item, 6B.
Thank you,
as a
Alan.
boy.
Thank you.
Thanks,
And by
Alan.
the way, thanks again. Okay, thank you. Next item is 6B. Rodrigo, you're on.
Yeah. Arrows
There you
looking
go.
forward.
I always look forward to your presentations.
Rodrigo, please state your name and address for the record.
Sure. Rodrigo Butori, 9517 Carlisle Avenue, Surfside, Florida. So, first of all, good evening. board members, and thank you very much for supporting our mission, first of all. And, and it was a pleasure to serve the town and the residents with our events. We had a wonderful time with our two plastic fishing festivals and during, preparing it and during it. So I want to share a little bit of what happened with you guys. So we had two events, one during Earth Day and one during the World Cleanup Day or International Coastal Cleanup Day, which was April and September. During those events, we had around 500 people, closer to 600 people that show up between registered people and people that just walked in. And we removed 604 pounds of trash from our beach. In the press, we got quite a bit of coverage for those events between TV, websites, and so forth. So we had around 400,000, eyeballs on our events, which was pretty fantastic. We had coverage from Local 10 and 7 News, also Miami, Greater Miami Conventions Bureau, New Tropic, and all that. We also made a point of separating, the type of trash that we got, just for, your personal information, between, what was mixed trash and plastics and all that. We really make a point about separating and trying to give, a new life to that plastic and bring it back into the circular economy. So we had 280 pounds on the first day and 322 pounds on our second event. The partners that we had during those events that were, partners for the town too, were the Miami-Dade Sea Turtle Conservation Program. They were here for both events, and we had a whole educational area just for them. We also had the ORI, the Ocean Rescue Alliance International. This was during Earth Day. Volunteer Cleanup was our partner for, International Coastal Cleanup Day. And, Grupo Mulheres do Brasil South Florida was our partner on both events, and have been a partner for a long, long time. So all of these groups have really helped, raise the event to the next level and also bring quite a lot of people with them. Oh, okay, we had a video which I'm going to skip. You guys can watch it later. And what we have today is also a kind of a looking forward perspective. So would you guys like to continue having those events for next year? If so, we are proposing 5 dates: Earth Day, Dune Day, the International Coastal Cleanup Day in September again, Halloween, and Thanksgiving. So this is April, June, September, October, and November. And the ideas that we bring to you guys will be this one. The first one is the Earth Day Plastic Fishing Festival, very similar to what we did this year. Similar event, similar setup, basically the same. Then we have something new that we quite love the idea, which is what we call Do the Dunes, right? So we know that our dunes are pretty huge equity in our town. They're very important for our lifestyle, and they represent a pretty important part of our, everyday. So what we like to do is on Dune Day, which is June 23rd, 2024, have a cleanup on the dunes in the form of a competition. So the idea there will be for us to separate the dunes in 15 portions, which they are naturally already separated as 15 portions, have 15 teams of locals and, people visiting town, and have then an event on which each group will be allocated to one of those portions, and the one who gets the most trash out of it will win, all kinds of cool prizes from the event. So Dune the Dunes will be a new plastic fisherman in partnership with Surfside event. The other one is the Coastal Cleanup Day, which again, similar to what we did in September, pretty big date. Then the next one is what we call the Plastic Monster Hunt, right? This will be for Halloween. So we thought about something that will fit the Halloween theme and could be super fun. And the idea here is to get the families, the town, our, residents, families, to go hunt for plastic, in the late hours of the day, with the flashlights and dress up in costumes and all that. And we'll have instead of making fish, which is what we do with the Plastic Fishing Festival, it's all going to be about making monsters with that plastic. Again, to talk about the problem of plastic being a monster in our oceans. So it can be a pretty fun event too, similarly to plastic fishing festivals, but again, focus on the monster idea. And lastly, oops, I don't know how to do this, Frank. Okay, I'm trying to, okay. And lastly, we have what we call the Thank You Ocean, and this will be something around the Thanksgiving time. So we should be thankful for where we live and how we live, our lives here. And the idea here will be for us to celebrate that with a cleanup, dedicated to our beach and to be thankful for that. So that's that. Those are the 5 dates that we have listed. And the idea, for this event series, and again, I'm not saying we need to make the 5 events. We can, it's a menu. You can choose. But if we do the 5 events, It will be a total of 54. But, with the discount for combined events, we can get to 51,300.
Rodrigo, through the chair, sorry, I just want to point out that our budget for right now covers the fiscal year, which is actually through the end of September. So I think
Oh.
anything beyond the October, the November would be a different fiscal year, but
Fantastic.
anything prior to that, the board can
So
consider.
we will go probably up to event 3 or 4, right? Through 3. Okay, so then, yeah. So then that's the.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
But-
Can we review the dates on coastal, earth, and thank you?
Absolutely. So
Okay,
Earth Day is Sunday, April 21st.
April
21st.
21st, go ahead.
Coastal Cleanup Day is Sunday, September 22nd. That will be the day of the event.
Right,
And then Do the Dunes is on Sunday, June 23.
June 23.
June 23. Then the Plastic Monster Contest is on Saturday, October 27. The reason why we're doing it on Saturday is because it's in the evening.
We can't do the last two because they're outside of
you're
our.
right. Absolutely, yeah.
It's only the first three we
The
can look
first
at.
3, you're correct. Sorry.
Thank you is outside.
Thank you is on Thanksgiving.
Next fiscal year.
Next
It will be
fiscal year.
like this year now. Yeah.
Okay, do I hear, you want to start?
Yes, I think for the event for October and November are really tied to many activities that the people has already. I think Thanksgiving is.
No, that's not possible because that's the next.
Oh,
budget.
no, I know, but even next year,
Yeah,
right?
but
No,
we
okay,
can't-
no.
we cannot
Okay, okay.
approve anything
Okay, well
after
then start.
October 1st.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so I'm going to start. All right. I had 3 dates that I like because it has greater exposure. Number 1 is the coastal, which I very much like, and earth for me is number 1. So coastal, I would prefer it if we're going to do it, which I think we should. I propose to have the coastal and the earth. Those are the 2 dates that are, for me, are good for this type of event.
Mhm.
The other thing, I'm going to take the opportunity to say that I think that we do have also in the Parks and Recreation,
Mhm.
we have activities on cleanup days.
Mhm.
And I don't know if they have that on a regular basis, which I think I'd like to be informed if they have that on a regular basis. Or if not, maybe we can sponsor some activity together with the Parks and Recreation for a cleanup maybe on a monthly basis. So is everybody okay with it?
So you're looking to approve 2 of them now?
Mhm.
Yeah, 2, because the last one is outside of our scope budget year,
Mhm.
May I-
it's Thanksgiving.
Is that okay if I make an interjection right now?
Sure.
Excuse me. So I would take a second look at the Do the Dunes, and I'll tell you why. Because all the events call attention, media attention, right? As you can see, we got quite a bit of attention from that. But they are interesting, they're unique. But the Do the Dunes will be the uniqueness. It will be a certain uniqueness that no other event has. We're talking about dunes, which are very important property for our town, very good equity for our town. So if you think about all the other media looking at us and look at what we're doing for our dunes, there's something quite special about that, which again, no other town or area around us is doing. So just as a heads up, that it has a magnet for media too.
Okay, let's see what the rest of the commission.
Well, we have one event this year, right? And we are increasing to another.
No, we had 2 events.
2 events.
How many did we have last year?
We had 2 events this
We
year
had
too.
2 events.
We had 2, okay.
Yeah, and they were both recognizable dates.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's why we went for those 2, because we had propositions last budget year, I should
Yeah.
say. We had a few others, and then we narrowed it down to these 2 because we were getting the greater exposure on these 2 events.
Mhm.
So now Rodrigo is coming to us and say, hey, look, I got 5 events that I can propose. Of course, 2 of them, of those events are out of our budget year. So the question is, I'm proposing to go with the coastal and the earth. Do I hear any suggestions other than mine?
No, I agree.
Well, were you guys at, I unfortunately did not make the events. I saw the videos and stuff and they look great. Were you guys at the events?
No, I was
No.
not at the event.
No,
You know, if
I was.
Ezekiel or you guys were? How
And
was?
how was it?
I mean, very, very much in the spirit of the initiative, which is,
In your
conservation.
estimation,
Yeah.
Your
Conservation.
estimation, how many people, I know I heard it from
I think we had about 300 per event.
300.
That's what I
Yeah.
noticed. Just circling back really quick to the dunes, I just wanted to make sure we're not overlooking anything. I know that the town manager, we did some dune resiliency tours. We really focused on the dunes quite a bit. We also, I think, got a grant related to the dunes. So I don't know whether, you feel this event might help us, bring some additional attention to that dune work that we're already doing, or maybe not necessarily.
Well, maybe.
Town manager?
Through the chair, it may. The dunes were overlooked as part of the beach cleanups undertaken by this organization or company. So if you want to venture into the dunes, we would welcome it.
Now, are you aware of the cleanup that does the
Park and
the Parks and Recreation do for the dunes as well as I think that the cleanup takes place in the dunes, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's correct.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And do you know how often do they do it?
Through the chair, the cleanups that we do at the dune are also through the Public Works Department done cyclically.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as how often Parks and Recs does, I believe once a year. How often do we go in there? I mean, it's part of our process. It's a little bit more careful when you go into dunes since you have a lot of native species, so you can't walk as freely as is in the sand. So I would say there's some logistics there, but if you want to expand the scope, I would incorporate the dunes.
What is the cost that you estimated on the dunes?
Another
the dunes
10,000.
project?
It's 11,400.
11.
Yeah, it's a
11,000.
little bit more expensive just because of
Yeah.
the logistics.
Yeah, how do you manage that as we have, kids and people who are
I
not?
would have 15 volunteers, one per dune, collaborating with each one of those groups. So we'll make sure that everything's done proper.
Through the chair, you'd have to have an educational component before they start, an orientation. And if you orient people properly, then you could venture off into the dunes. You can't see the floor in the dunes like you can in the sand, so there's holes in some areas. But yeah, if you have a supervisor at every spot, yeah, that helps. There's some plants we don't want.
Is there any need for any type of insurance that you may carry on this?
Sorry, can you repeat your question?
Is there any need for insurance that you carry
All of
on
our
this?
events are insured, all of them.
Okay.
That gives us comfort.
Okay, so
yeah.
that's
There's a $1 million
neat.
insurance for all events.
all right. So Diana has recommended the two that I've suggested. What about you, sir?
I mean, I definitely think we should do the two events for sure, because we did it last year. My only question is, third event, do we want to wait till David and Ezekiel are here to bring it up, or do we just want to approve it today?
I think that perhaps maybe the full board should be present to approve this other one, which is a good suggestion on your part. And at the same time, I think that we need to find out about the activity that Parks and Recreation does.
Yeah.
So coupled with the Parks and Recreation plus the full board, are we willing to do a motion now to approve the coastal and the earth?
Yeah, I mean, everyone already voted in favor of it before, so I would continue that on.
Well, no, but we need to have it.
Right. No, I think for sure. I think
If you did it before, you have to have it now. It's not.
right. No, I think
So do you want to make a motion, or Diana want to make a motion?
Yeah, I want to make a motion to approve Air Day, April 21st, and coastal cleanup in October 27th.
No,
No, September 22nd.
And April 21st.
September 22nd. Yeah.
second.
Okay, Town
All
clerk?
in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
very much.
Rodrigo.
Thank you, Rio.
Good job there. All right, next item. Rodrigo doesn't have any more.
Farmers
Is
Market.
My favorite guy, Javier Valmana from Farmers Market.
Mhm.
For the record, name and address.
Yeah, they're going to be back to back. Food truck.
Isn't it about the?
Yeah, but this is the next one. See, he's got it here. He's on the market.
Hello.
Oh, yeah. 8851 Abbott Avenue, Surfside, Florida, Javier Valmana. Hello, everyone. So I really don't have much to say about farmers market because it's been going very well.
Well, that's a lot to say. What do you mean? You
That's huge.
Yeah, it's been going
I
well.
mean,
It's-
we changed the venue, and you're telling me that you have not much to say, but it's been good. Okay,
And
Well-
thank you very much.
And we
Bye.
told you, and we told you that we'll be.
I say that because I think the photos and everything will show for itself, and just overall, I mean, the market in the new location has been well. We've been getting a lot of traffic, both from residents and from tourists and visitors of the town. We've been cooperating well with Bell Harbor. We haven't really had any major issues, and as
Except,
well, I mean, overall,
except the Cocoa Place.
It's the cocoa booth.
Yeah,
that they,
the
the
coconut
coconuts,
place.
The coconut, they are using our place.
well, so yeah, I mean, that's
Yes or no? Are they
Well,
using it or not using
they
it?
are using it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
From the beginning, however, that my layout wasn't there, so that's why it hasn't affected us. My like none of our stands were supposed to be there. They are using our space,
Yeah, but they
and
shouldn't.
yeah, I mean, that's
Okay.
There is
So-
nothing that you
so
can do.
The
We
reason
know.
why I bring it up is because
Okay.
Diana brought it up before.
right.
And we don't expect you to say to the person
No.
that does the coconut, hey, you're in my territory,
Yeah.
so move. So we don't expect you to do that.
No.
But we are going to take measures in moving that north.
Or whatever.
Because south
Right.
is really and truly our space. And
And you can use
we
that.
we could use that space.
Yeah. So, what I'll say to that is also that, in order to have both markets so close to each other, I think us both Bell Harbor and Surfside, we've taken, some measures and we've sacrificed a little here and there. We sacrificed a little, changing from one location to another, but overall it's been great. And Bell Harbor, as it is, how they had it in previous years, not to defend them or anything, but how they had it in previous year, they did have more spaces for their market, and they've reduced it gradually. The reason being, I honestly don't know, but it has helped us because in order to meet certain emergency requirements, like for emergency vehicles and that sort of thing, where they start their market currently does make it a little bit easier for us to have some of our tents where they are. So obviously, I mean, I would love to be able to take advantage of that extra space. We're getting a lot of applications, and just overall, it would be better, to expand our
Good.
market.
Of course,
Okay.
we're
But I
going
would,
to
al-
do
you
it.
know, yeah.
We're going to do
But
it.
I would also not want it to affect us by them changing their space to a place where it affects us more, just because.
Well, no, I
No.
think that the reason why I brought it up is
Mhm.
because I think that you could use the space.
Yeah.
And it's our
So,
space, that's it.
Frank, it's up to
For
you.
that town manager,
Contact them and to make sure that the coconut stand
move
moves north
or whatever.
and away from where they've been.
Okay, we
Okay.
will.
And I think
So
they owe
we
us,
will do that.
they owe us taxes for the last couple months, right? That's on Surfside, making sales. I believe that's a legal requirement. Mr. Manager?
That's a one.
Through the chair, what's the issue?
There's a coconut stand that is on the Surfside
in our
side of the line that's part of the Bell Harbor market, who is paying Bell Harbor sales taxes and taking up Surfside space.
Is that a deal you worked out as part as being up there?
What's that? I'm sorry. Can you?
Is that part of the when you worked it out with them?
Well, so we never granted them that space.
They just imposed it.
Yeah, they just assumed it.
They've been there.
They have been there for.
They've been there.
Because they did have that last year. From last year, they were using that space. I don't know exactly,
They
if
never
it's
pay
Surfside
us.
Side,
I don't think they need to pay us. I think we need to have a conversation first. Can we have a conversation of them?
Yeah, of
It's
course.
just-
I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
just make sure that, I mean, they're occupying or placing with the tent,
Yes.
a single tent in the south side pertaining to more or less quote unquote Surfside.
So allow us to.
All we want to do is to have that particular vendor move north.
If I'm able to work it out where we rent it out to them, that space, would we be fine with that?
Yeah.
Rent it?
Rent
Yeah.
it?
I mean, it sounds like it's town real estate. We could rent
No, because we have application for
Yeah.
that. They want
Yeah, I
to
mean,
be in our place. We have people who want to sell in that spot.
So I'll defer to you, coordinate it with them, discuss it with them. I don't want to go over there and start pulling that hard card right away. I think can we first have a conversation with them?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we can reach out to them and we can,
Let's have a conversation.
No, we need the space.
yeah.
Through the chair, allow us to have a conversation with them, start with that
Okay.
before we take it to the next level.
Okay.
I don't want to just go in there full front. I think we can
Yeah, I think
have a
that's
discussion.
probably the best way to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, but like Eli say, means maybe you don't have, they are going to tell you that you don't have the authority to tell them to move because need to be something official. But like the town manager proposed, try to have just that talk to the guy who is in charge and say that they are using
Yeah.
since years
Yeah.
a spot that doesn't belong to them. That's it. And we need it.
Okay.
We'll work it out.
Okay. So,
Yeah, moving on. Just wanted to show you a few pictures of the market of how it looks with the new awnings that we added, how it looks in the new location, pictures of the vendors and all that good stuff.
much improved.
Yeah, well, it looks. I mean, it looks phenomenal.
Looks
Most of the
amazing.
vendors are vendors that were in the other location. But I mean, the awnings and everything, it really adds to the charm and it adds to what it brings to the town and how it makes the town look overall.
One thing I did like from the Bell Harbor side is they have like Bell Harbor Market on every single table. Like there's like a nice sign
Yeah.
they put down there. It kind of like, makes it uniform. And I noticed from our side, we have the awning thing, but maybe we can, get some more name recognition, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, so we could explore something. Personally, I don't like the tablecloth thing too much because it takes away a little bit from, each vendor's ability to customize their own booth and pretty much, add their own type of
Flavor.
character.
Maybe add Surfside onto the awning or something.
Yeah,
as,
I mean-
just to like, because you walk around there and you're like, oh, this is the Bell Harbor. I mean, I know the difference, but I was talking to my wife and she's like, oh, I thought this was all one thing. So just to, people know, or, Surfside.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, I mean, I think most people actually think it's just the Surfside Farmers Market. And the reason why is that all the seating and all that stuff is on our side because they don't provide any tables and chairs or anything like that.
Would it be difficult, and piggyback on what Ben is saying, would it be difficult on the balance just to have a painted Surfside?
Like on the
Balance, on the
No, well, it's not difficult, but for example, we have some vendors, and I'll show you. So this is another picture of the produce stand. We have some vendors that put banners in the front, promoting their own stand, and it adds to the look of their own stand and to what they sell. And then others just customize it. Like I guess this photo on the left is a perfect example to their booth and to their own small business. So it really
that's fine, but
adds to the
I'm
character.
saying to you, since we're providing the tents,
Mhm.
the awnings, I think in thinking about making sure that people know it's Surfside,
Right.
if in that portion, all we need to do is add the word Surfside, if we can do a paint job, for the lettering.
Maybe like a hanging little logo.
Yeah, I
that
mean,
would
or
serve, right?
I can look into customizing the
Just
tent.
adding the word Surfside, because
Or
what we
adding
wanna
some
do is
banners.
make sure that Surfside is exposed.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, it's something that I
And the
can look
vendors
into.
can do whatever they want,
Yeah,
I
of
mean,
course.
in the sense of promoting their products and
Yeah.
everything else. But we want to make sure, since we are sponsoring you on that, we want to make sure that the name Surfside is in
Okay.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'll look into something even more unique than the tablecloths, just to not have the same thing that they do. But I think it's a good idea. And it's
Frank, the Surfside logo on the, what do you call that? What do you call the lettering?
The cursive.
Cursive.
A cursive.
Who does that for us?
Well, that was designed by Jacober many years ago, but
Yeah,
we
no,
have-
not the design. I'm talking
Yeah.
about when we do whatever we do, that we use
Well-
that style.
Yeah, it depends on the vendor. So,
Okay.
if he wanted to print like we could do like a cute little sign that comes up on, just under the awning there and
Yeah.
has logo at every booth,
Well,
something like that.
See, we call it balance. That's
Mhm.
the hanging down part.
Okay.
Okay. If we can add on the hanging down the same lettering, which is a cursor of Surfside, We don't need anything else, just the
Right,
word
right.
Surfside.
Yeah. I think I have an idea for what you're looking for. We could try to work.
I just want to make sure that Surfside is exposed.
Okay.
Another thing that perhaps could also be an option is having like flags in each stand that kind of stick out, and they all have like Surfside, Surfside, Surfside.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And it's
do we
easy
have
to,
signs?
It's easy.
I mean, do we have flags?
They can do that, yeah.
Well, why don't you, yeah, I mean,
They
I
can
think
be
you get the idea of what we're looking for. We want to see Surfside out there. Now you
Yeah.
gotta be creative
course.
and come back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Show
no,
us new
and,
pictures.
and we do have signage like the. Let me go to the first one. Like this, which is
Yeah,
pretty much in the
exactly.
middle of the market, and I think that's why most people think it's Surfside Farmers Market.
Cool,
Mhm,
I like that.
exactly.
Because
Yeah,
we
I
have
like
this like right in the middle.
Yeah, he has that one.
That's
He has
why-
that one. If you put another one in the beginning and another one,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that the word Surfside gets
Yeah,
out.
of course,
You know,
of course.
We're footing the bill, and we want to make sure that Surfside is exposed.
Yeah,
at
and
all
I'll
times.
also say that we have our own social media, what the market social
Right.
media promoting, the Surfside Farmers Market and everything, which Bell Harbor doesn't. So we also get a lot of exposure through that,
Cool.
specifically for Surfside.
All right,
I mean,
so
I was there this past week, and the energy and excitement there, it was amazing. Like the other one, there'd be people around. This place was packed. There were people
Packed.
everywhere. There was, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it was really, it's an impressive operation
Yeah,
now.
because
So
everyone is
kudos and thank you
Thank
for
you.
putting this together.
do you remember when I proposed that location? You were
Yes,
hesitant
yes, yes.
about it.
Yes.
Remember?
Yeah, I know I had some
And you
objections.
had some,
Yeah,
some
exactly.
afterthoughts, and I said, no,
Yeah,
let's
that's
just
why
do
you.
it. And it seems to be working.
Yeah, it seems, yeah. Exactly.
Okay, good.
It
Okay.
is doing good. And
Okay.
I'll go through a few more of the photos.
I just wanted to put my 5 cents there. All right.
I'll just show you a few more
Okay.
of the
Now,
photos.
What
what do we need to do
Vendors.
with this?
what would you have to do?
Anything?
Just an
for-
update.
An update. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
What about the food truck event?
So I'll show you that next. So this is at the other market we used to have a Halloween or fall photo station, and this is how we did it this year. It's slightly different. We were hoping to do something a little bit bigger, but very limited in the space to do this kind of
Mhm.
extra activity. So we put this together, and it got a lot of traction. A lot of people took pictures, and it turned out really nice.
Mhm.
And that's pretty much it for that update. Let me see if I find it. Oh, here.
There you go.
So yeah, the food truck event. So, so it would be food truck Thursdays at 93rd Street, and going back to some of the discussions that you guys had at your last meeting about what you were looking for. I put this together, trying to both build something unique for Surfside and recreate a lot of what you see throughout not only neighboring municipalities, but also Miami-Dade overall that has a lot of food truck events, but just having kind of our own and specific to Surfside. So it would be food truck Thursdays at 93rd Street, and just a little bit about us because obviously you know me as the person that manages the Surfside Farmers Market, but we expand a little bit outside of that. And overall, we're an event production company, primarily focused in this kind of public event. And we, specialize in producing unique experiences by really trying to reach our visitors, not only through the vendors that we bring, but creating an entire ambiance and just atmosphere that is both engaging and just great for sharing quality family time and all those things. And just overall, I also wanted to mention that we try to pretty much create a standard of our own. Most companies in this business pretty much just bring the vendors along, and that's what they focus on mainly. But we do put a lot of attention into the furniture we use, the live music we bring, and the entire atmosphere. Like, this is a market that we do in Sunny Isles, and it's a big event, and we bring everything from the string lights that you see to all the furniture you see in the photo. And just going back to it, we do the Surfside Farmers Market and this event.
Okay, so what's the deal in cost?
Okay, well, so just to get through a few of the things, some of our services, and I'm sure you got a chance to look at that, so I won't go over it. But the food truck event overall would be primarily food trucks, but we would have a few tents throughout. Um, the event would be every Thursday from 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. It would take place ideally at the town hall parking lot right across the street on 93rd Street in Harding. We would aim to have at least 25% of vendors be kosher. It would go from October through April, and we would have around 12 food trucks and 8 vendors. And this event, as I'm proposing it like this, would actually not have a cost to the town if it's a weekly event. However, we did discuss the challenges that come with closing off the parking lot or this parking lot on a weekly basis. So I did want to mention that if a weekly event is not something that's possible, we can look into the monthly aspect of it. It would not be free, just because a monthly event would increase our cost and reduce our revenue.
I don't think
Significantly?
weekly event is gonna fly.
No.
Yeah.
No, because,
Don't have to,
we have that every Thursday anyway.
Right.
Event. We have that
Yeah,
Thursday.
weekly event is not gonna
Thursday,
fly.
once a month.
Right. Well, and I mean, an event like this could also, complement, like, for example, a third Thursday event, just because it's an additional food source. But I know that the challenge and all the logistics involved with closing down the parking lot and all that stuff. So I didn't want to, throw that out there.
Yeah.
And a monthly event would also be great. I think the idea behind the event overall would be very successful. And a monthly event would actually give us the opportunity to even provide more or bring more to it. So this event as it is, I'll just get through this for a second. This event as it is would give us a DJ, to offer some background music. It would give us some family fun by offering a kid's PlayStation and offering activities like arts and crafts and face painting. And a monthly event could potentially expand that to having live music and a few other things, a few more food trucks, a few more vendors. But like I said, the cost would not be free. As it is, I told Frank something like $3,000 is what would cost each event if we do it on a monthly basis. And that's because a lot of the funds we use, we get from charging the vendors and the food trucks a rent. So yeah, if a monthly event is what you're looking for, then it's something that we can work on.
Well, I mean, I think you got a couple things here, because I'm always a guy pushing events, but we've already got third Thursdays. We've been doing a Saturday event. Closing down that parking lot again might have pitchforks coming after us. So I think it'd be interesting to see what it looks like. Do one event and take kind of get an opinion, but I don't know if we could even commit to a monthly. I think that's even.
Well, when I proposed the food event activity, I was looking for one activity, just like we have other activities that's just a one time, the movies or whatever it is, just a one time, and that's what my approach was, is to have an event and call it food truck event. So
Like an event, not
Yeah.
a regular event.
We don't have the parking facilities. We don't. I mean, there's a lot involved. Like Holliver does it every Tuesday. It's very
Right.
successful.
Yeah, but all over.
But they have unlimited space. Right. That's designed for it, to do it in Surfside.
So you know what I like to do, if it's possible and if it makes sense, let's have the full board, number one. Number two, let Javier knows that basically our thrust is looking at one event to try it out.
Okay.
And then see from that one event, perhaps maybe we can interject with other events that we have, because we have an ongoing event, like Ben said. We have third Thursday, we go steady on January, February, March, and April. So we're looking to do an event where perhaps maybe a week or that month, we don't have an event, that we can slide in a food truck.
Right.
I mean, is that
Yeah,
understandable?
or could you prepare an event
Yeah.
with the trucks for just an event, like an event, and then we check from there if we can again, because the town manager can tell us more about the problems that we have every time that we close the parking lot.
Right, and kind of coordinate with Frank in the sense of no availability and events that are taking place that month. because we don't want to have one event climbing on
No.
top of another event. That's not acceptable to me.
Through the chair, another possibility that came up is potentially using a smaller lot that is not a town parking lot that we might have access to, where we could potentially stage a lot less food trucks, not do something so big with picnic tables and
Which
a
lot
DJ.
is it?
Which-
It's a little lot on Harding Avenue in between the 94th lot and those few houses that
Yeah, the
are
two
that are
houses.
here. So I actually did show Javier the space. This only came up recently, but we could have him develop a proposal for that small space, which would not, which would keep our
So
parking lot.
That's awesome,
working.
because if
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
that you could
good.
that you could make more of a weekly event, because it doesn't affect the resident, it doesn't affect the life going
Parking.
on here. Doesn't affect parking, there's already a lot right
Which
there.
place?
You could cycle in different food trucks every week, have a nice little activity operation. I wouldn't say 25% kosher, because there's only like 3 kosher trucks in the whole state, like you're not gonna,
We'll have
yeah,
one.
but if, as long as you get like 1 kosher item,
We'll open up yours.
one, not going into food business.
But what is the place? I
Chair.
don't get it. In 90
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, so you do like a small micro
Yeah,
events.
so I
Make that a weekly event.
There is an open space?
It's a good
Yeah,
space.
well,
It's just a matter of, of size. For food trucks, it's a little bit more challenging because food trucks take up a lot of space.
We do it maybe 2 food trucks and 2 tents or 4
Yeah,
tents.
so for tents, definitely fit a lot more,
Yeah.
and we can have a food-based event like the Wednesday market I showed you that I do.
Right.
Mhm.
Mostly, since it's a night market,
Yes.
it's mostly food. It's a food event, and we have over 30 food vendors, all different products. So, if it's something that the board is willing to consider, it can also be a food event without necessarily so many food.
And by the way, even our own restaurants here should be able to, if they want to set up a tent and be part of this
Right.
event, I mean, no
Yeah.
reason not to, right? You have like backyard barbecue, they want to do chicken nugget
Yeah.
Tuesday or whatever it is.
It's something I did include in the proposal, and it was a way to just include our businesses, both because it's a great additional source of revenue for them, and also a great way to promote their establishment. And
Guys, just get back to us on that then.
Okay.
The next
Yeah.
meeting, if possible.
That sounds awesome, because that's
And then
something we can run.
We'll have the
Yeah,
food
with
board
that.
here that we can check whatever ideas.
Mhm.
Together
We'll
with
work on
yours.
some.
Yeah, and
sounds
then
good.
when you come to us, most that should be self-sustaining. But if you want to do like 1 week, you do something special. You bring in a bouncy house. I don't know, something. That's the thing, is where we throw in a couple $100 or $1,000, and you can run with another activity or add something to the event. But the event itself, I mean, they should be making money on it. It should be a profitable operation.
Yeah, it's just that I pitched it weekly because usually this type of event, like all over Tuesday food truck or this one, they're usually weekly events just to maintain or create kind of
The
that
consistency.
recurring-
Consistency.
That
But
could,
we're not looking for that, really.
but you could, if you use the empty lot, you
If
could make
the
it
empty
weekly.
lot,
We'll-
yes.
That could be a weekly event.
Have empty lots, yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Then we can do that.
but, yeah.
But
But we
thinking
were
some-
looking at one activity actually to try it out, because in the past we've had, and we used to put them on
As an
95th
activity.
Street between Harding and Collins. We used to close that spot that we used to do the third Thursday, and it was very successful. But then the logistics got on the way.
Right,
So,
complicated.
like Ben says, like you said, and Diana, if we have a place that
Mhm.
doesn't interfere with much, it would be wonderful to have a weekly activity.
Okay.
This
think what
week
you
we
can do
have,
there.
burritos. Next week we have arepas. And the next week we have
And the people we know that
pollo
always
and so on and so forth.
Chair, can I ask a
Always-
question?
So,
always something is.
May I ask a question, Chair?
sir, go
For the
ahead.
sustainability of your event, does it need to be weekly so you retain these vendors, or is
Ideally-
it something that you could do ad hoc as needed?
Yes, ideally it doesn't need to be weekly. Best like the best thing would be for it to be weekly, or at least to have some type of consistency.
Consistency,
That's why
okay.
I said monthly or bi-weekly or
All right.
whatever the case is.
So we'll see you next month.
Okay. Sounds
You
good.
know what the drift is, more or less.
I'm going to check the space.
And hopefully we'll have a full board too,
Mhm.
so they can, bite into it. Okay?
Perfect.
All right, thanks a lot, Javier.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Everybody okay with it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
great.
Okay, the next item is not related.
6L.
6D, isn't it?
6L, art event ideas.
Oh,
L?
6L, sorry. CCL Art Event Ideas. You're on. Name and address for the record?
While you're doing that.
You can put it back.
I'm Barbara.
Yeah.
Barbara Goykuchea from ACT Productions, 407 Lincoln Road, Miami Beach. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. So great
Hi.
to see you again. Nice that we're all here together. So we would just want to present to you a few art ideas. Wait, I use the arrow, right? So we knew that you were looking for something that was like an art special, maybe an art sort of thing, a course about us, ACT. You've actually worked with us before. We did your sandcastle event, and we've been to present to you a few times. So we were thinking about doing like a street art festival, which is like in the things where we would have stilt walkers walk down as entertainment, art vendors that could be able to be put up their paintings and selling them, as well as doing like a kosher light bites, hydration station, a DJ going, and for the kids' activities, we would have them come in and paint and do other things. There is also a local artist that might want to join in with us from the area. Her name is Courtney Einhorn, and she does graffiti and would do like a live picture for you guys and watch the kids. They could do different things and help her out. So it would be a fun event for the kids. As you can see, we kind of put together where we would do picnic tables where all the kids could do these different paintings. They have a souvenir to take home. And they would also have this Courtney come in and sort of demonstrate her work and maybe them get ideas.
This is taking place where?
In
This
the-
would be in the parking lot here,
Across the street.
across the street.
Okay, so it's a town hall parking.
Correct.
This is the same thing like the third Thursdays. It's the block party type of operation.
Exactly. Something like that. But it's a one-off, kind of event.
Well, we like to, one-offs become series around here. So
Yeah,
it's
no,
a
no,
good,
no, that's great. But, we were just saying, I know he was looking for one-offs. Another idea that we had, well, that was like kind of a budget, if it's sort of within there, if you wanted to go down and look at that. But
25.
Is the one that we have there, right? The first one.
This one here,
Mm-hmm.
Then we had another idea for you for an art event, but we would actually have to figure out what location it could be on, which is where they would map out one of the buildings, like video mapping. And we would do like another block party on there, but I can't really present it. It was an idea where we would do graphic graffiti on a wall, like it's video. It's not painted on the wall, but we needed a white wall we were trying to find for you and an area to do it on. But
But that didn't materialize.
no, not yet.
Not yet.
We're still
Okay.
working on it.
Okay.
And
So, time-wise, what are we looking at?
for-
I mean, we have the space, as you mentioned, as long as we can get permission from the town to use the parking lot on, across the street. The event should, what month are you kind of targeting?
we were looking for your help on, we didn't know when you wanted us to fit in. We were just.
So
looking
you're
for ideas.
open?
We are open.
Okay, so that's.
We are
you're
ready.
open time-wise.
I like the idea. I mean, let's start with the idea, right? I like the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I've always tried to push art, and I'm looking for art on the beach. I'm looking for art. If you remember, Frank, I wanted to have a constant art demonstration on the beach. Actually, on the beach. You remember that? Okay, good. Thank you. You have a good memory. So I'm all for art. I mean, this is what dictates on a town of classiness.
See Lily tomorrow.
Yeah, and we can analyze a little bit the budget, how she break it out in the one that street art performance.
It might be kind of hard for you to read, but what we did is we kind of broke it down for you in a
Okay.
description of general, like, sort of ideas about, like our pre-production costs. Wait, let me put on my
This
glasses.
is
It's on his order.
what it cost us to kind of put stuff together, what a performance would cost with like the stilt walkers, so you have kind of, like an activity going on there. The local food, because of what we pay out in those things, the arts and crafts activities. And, we need the DJ, miscellaneous items, to put up in there.
What do you think, Diana?
I like the idea to involve the kids and all of that. And if we are open to that, we can fit here. We can pick one of these in one of the months that we don't have activity.
One of the months, you're saying?
So we should do it in I guess December before the holidays. Beginning
Well,
of-
they're open,
Oh.
so that was my
Well,
question.
wait, are we talking about during our Basel week?
No,
No, Art Basel, no.
But
No.
even
When's our Basel?
Our Basel
Huh?
is in
Is December, I think that would be a really hard month to try and
yeah.
get anything to get
No.
going, especially from art vendors right now. They're,
No, we're not talking about Art Basel time or
Okay.
December. I think we're looking probably January now.
January?
Because you have.
yeah, I think
you have-
January would be a
Or
good month.
February,
You have Thanksgiving, you have New Year's,
Christmas, all of that. Yeah, I
So,
think
we
February
need
will be better.
give the people some rest. So
Wait, I thought we were
would
going to
say-
tell Barbara we should do it next week.
Huh?
Next week, right?
Oh.
I know I said I was open, but maybe,
Not that
That's why I
open.
ask you, because,
Not
sometimes
that
you have
open.
a lot of activities and I can't know what's
yeah,
availability.
I was thinking that you were thinking like any time from January on from there would be a much better time for us to
So
get
I think the board is amicable to sometime maybe January,
February.
February. But I'm not sure about the budget. I need to get feedback from the board.
I mean, I guess this is in line with our usual third Thursday events.
I was not
price-wise.
able.
Oh, do you have a
it's
printout of
too
that by
far
any
away,
chance?
so- Huh?
Do you have a printout of that to be able to
I
see?
mean, we have one printout.
One?
that-
Okay.
Oh, you have
okay,
printed?
just-
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can
I
see
did
I
one,
can
I
see it
didn't
somewhat.
realize that we did it.
Yeah, it's too tiny for me. I'm gonna need lupas or whatever they call it. Yeah, it's too small for me. Do you wanna take a look?
Well, maybe Ben can read it.
I can read it off the
Oh,
screen.
you can read out.
Post
I
it.
mean, we can read it off to you if you
Yeah.
if you'd like it.
There you go. There, right there.
Yeah, now
There you
that's
go.
clear. Yeah,
I think that's.
You See, this is why I have technical support here. I don't know how to do this.
No, I just wanna see what the breakdown is.
Wait,
that
now you're on,
we're gonna
thank you.
spend
Oh, we're done.
25,000.
Thank you. No.
See what we have it on.
Yeah, because when you say a little kosher friendly light bites, but you have other stuff that is not kosher too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like they have three food vendors, one kosher friendly.
Exactly.
We just kind of balanced it out for here.
Yes.
I
Yes,
mean,
yes.
to be honest with you, the last one that we did, I'm going to say everything we did was kosher,
All right, yeah.
except for Dipping Dots. That was the only thing that
Dippin'
was
Dots is
not.
kosher.
Oh, was it?
Yes, it's not a like a kosher establishment, but it is kosher. If that,
Oh.
yeah. So everything there was kosher.
Learn something new every day. No, but we only went to, actually, we tried to do everything that was kosher. We got your favorite pizza. We did the grill.
That Kulu was good. Or
Huh?
the pizzas, the plates that were coming out. That was
And-
so good.
And
Yeah.
wait, how about those elephant ears? They were all really
those were-
nice too.
yeah.
Yeah. Your
Okay,
takeaways.
so what I'd like to see then, now looking at the numbers, I entertain a motion to
Oh,
have this event
Okay. I
in
can make a
January
motion.
or February.
I want to make a motion to approve the street art performance and we need to find that time maybe at the end of January or February, right?
At a cost of 25.
At the cost, yeah, the 25,000. Okay?
Okay, go ahead.
second?
Town clerk?
At a cost of 25,000
Yes,
Yes.
for the street art festival.
yes.
Street art performance according with what they
It's a street art
present here.
festival.
Well, it's festival, really.
Well,
Board
it's-
Member Gonzalez,
Yes.
Vice Chair Jacobson,
Yes.
Chair Turgerman.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank
you.
you. We're looking forward to
Yeah,
working
let's
with
see if you can bring some more activities, please.
You know what? Okay, we're gonna work on that for you.
That's a good space, like where you have the art thing.
need to
Like come up
see.
with other concepts, ideas, things for that area.
You got it. All right.
Try to come to the
Thank you.
next event.
Thank you
can
very much.
see, and you can get familiar with another the events that we're going to have before. Okay? Thank you. It's a
Right.
recommendation.
Next item is 6D, which is event safety and logistics budget.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, so this was an item we wanted to put on the agenda, obviously, as the tourist board has substantially increased the amount of events, special events that are being held throughout the year, a number of them taking place on the weekend. They do require coordination with additional departments, whether that be Public Works for, sanitation control, or Parks and Recreation for setup and assistance with event giveaways, or the police department, of course, for the setup and breakdown, and especially for the beach events, getting folks safely down the hard pack. We would like to request $30,000. Also, the farmers market on Sunday is a substantial component because it does require an off-duty officer specifically for the duration of that event to oversee it and to make sure that everything is good. So just so that we don't have to put that burden on the general fund, we wanted to see if we could request $30,000 for the year to cover these logistical expenses.
Mr. Manager, I'd like to hear from you.
Thank you very much, Chair. There is a reality that these events do have a cost incurred in the operations of the town towards making these successful. Frank touched base on a few of them. It is an absorbed cost by the departments that at the end of the year, we do have to run those numbers to see how tight we are. We're just asking for your assistance. We could do them in two ways. We could give you a cost estimate per event. We could come and get it ratified once it's expended. We could come back after the event and get it ratified by this board, or you could give us a lump sum and we'll chop into it. Whatever the way it is, we're just seeking for those additional funds to help us out. Every parking lot event requires us to have parking enforcement working 24 hours before already and letting people know not to park there. 12 hours before the event, we're already putting signages. And for an event, any event at night, by 8 a.m., we already have someone there telling people to come do your business and get out. By noon, we have it closed off. The production takes time and effort, and it costs the town some money. So that's an unforeseen consequence of these events. It was never really a big issue, but we do have a lot more events, and that's where we did notice that deficiency.
Well, I concur with Frank's proposal as well as yours, and the need for it. And you're right. We went from 3 events to 1,000 events. So, and the need for personnel is definitely needed for safety more than anything else, especially in the world. So, any comments from the board?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Are we hiring people from that out of the town, or how we're going to spend that 30,000?
Through the chair, we are using overtime resources of our existing staff, police department, public works, parks and recreation, as well as communications and tourism staff. It's overtime efforts. 30,000 is to cover the entire fiscal year. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah.
And that means that we are paying them extra? For
Correct.
the time that they are working
The hourly
extra?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
working extra to
Okay.
cover the event. the
Okay, just
safety
say,
of the event.
exactly.
after the event is over, public works doesn't leave till midnight.
Oh, yeah,
Clean up,
just
you
I
know.
want to clarify, we're going to use that money for them, is
Yes, no additional staff to pay for overtime specifically.
overtime, okay. And with 30,000, do you have that is gonna be enough, or 50,000 is okay? I think I am the only one taking care of that money.
I know.
Now
I
you
don't
want to
know.
give away money?
I think it's a reasonable request, and we'll see. We'll see if this helps. Because I'm all for it, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. But I'm waiting for the board to decide.
Through the chair, we want to encourage you to do what you're doing. Just give us the tools so we can make you succeed, to make the board succeed. 30 is sufficient.
Okay.
It wasn't an issue again with 3, with 24 events, 25 events. It's something that we ran into when we ran the numbers.
Can I
Okay,
charge you overtime too?
if we do that
Man.
that means that you don't
How
make
many
it with
events are we up to?
15,000. Oh,
A lot. I can't even count at this point because they're still materializing. But just to reiterate, but again, the Sunday farmers market at the beach location is a big component because we do
Mhm.
require an officer just to oversee that and make sure that everything is
Cool,
kosher.
okay.
okay.
Do you have?
And
I'd like to make a motion to approve. Everything sounds in order, and a special thank you to all of the town staff who worked tirelessly to make sure this town runs wonderfully.
yeah,
Diane?
I'm second.
Town clerk?
Board Member Gonzalez,
Yes.
Vice Chair Jacobson,
Yes.
Chair Turgerman.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you.
Okay.
All right, next item is Finance Department,
6E.
yeah. Finance Department process,
Correct.
resort tax collection. So we covered the resort tax. This
Thank
is
you,
what,
Chi-
for the audits?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. We did circulate a
That
memo
was-
from the Finance Department outlining their process for overseeing the resort tax collection. So,
Frank, if sorry, I do want to interrupt, but hand it over when you have a chance.
I'm ready to hand it over to the manager to speak to that process and any questions.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr.
Thank-
Manager?
Thank you very much, Chair. Yeah, this board was faced up in the last meeting we had, if to perform an audit of the tourist surtax as it's paid for by the various payees. We ran the situation of why are we doing this? We don't have a way to audit ourselves, and I'll explain. When there is a reportee who reports the tourism surtax to our finance department on the basis of how it's shown, I believe it's every other month, Frank, they submit the form that they go ahead and submit the state. So they show us the form, they sign off the form, they certify the form, and then that form goes off to the state. We don't receive that form back from the state. So there is a situation where perhaps whatever they send over to the state is not consistent with what we receive as a town. That loop is not closed off. When we requested the state to provide us those forms, the state has not provided. They would have to provide if we do a public records request. But if we do that, that process, that mechanism is what we're seeking. If we are to do an audit, to be handled by someone, as it is a labor-intensive endeavor, as far as time to request from the state, to receive it, to quality control over what's on file, and that's what the audit consists of. That is the process we have it. The memo, how it explains it, it just explains how the process goes from the vendor checking their registers, filling out the form, submitting the form, the quality controls we have within finance, but it doesn't go off to finish that loop, which is once we receive that document, there's no way for us to verify that. And that's, I think, the bigger question of the audit when it comes into place is requesting those state documents to make sure they're consistent with our documents. That would be the first step.
So what are you requesting? I mean, I understand because I think I am the guy that brought this item to light as far as the taxes are concerned, what we're collecting and what they're reporting. Are you requesting funds for this? Are you requesting, what is it that you're requesting to get this accomplished?
Through the chair, to endure, to start this, I'll leave it at the sole will of this board. We don't need to do it, but we can do it. It's always good to reassure that what we're receiving is accurate, and it always puts everyone in good faith that everything's being done the right way. But you also have to think about the unintended consequences of it as it pertains to you are auditing a business. Some businesses, are more financially backed than others, and they can contest anything, and anything that gets contested may put our tourism surtax at risk. We received let's say $5 million in 23. Are we doing this for an extra $50,000 to $20,000, $100,000? Is that worth
Not
it?
worth it.
That's
Not worth it.
We are financially healthy right now when it comes to the tourism surtax funding coming in. I think if we were in a different economy where we needed those extras, I would say I would recommend it. I think this exercise proved that we do have a mechanism that we can do. Right now, I think we're healthy enough where I would not touch it. That's
I
my
mean, are you
recommendation.
satisfied with what they're presenting? That's my question.
Through the chair, you always see the numbers, and sometimes you do have questions, but all in, from a bird's eye, we are satisfied. We're receiving a healthy income coming out of this.
This is not an unusual request.
It's not.
Because, other municipalities do it. We used to do it. But if you feel comfortable of what's taking place, I mean, I think the board is.
Oh, just had one question. What if, once a year you picked one of the places randomly and did it without, without going to a third party? Would the town have the resources to do a single, check just to keep everybody in line that you could be picked out of the hat? Is that something that wouldn't cost us any money?
Through the chair, one, it's something we can handle. The only thing is when you single out one, I would
It's picking on.
pick it out at random.
Random, no, random
I'm
pick.
saying to
Yes.
pick up one, it's kind of just.
Well, if
Yes.
everybody, right, everyone, the IRS keeps you honest because they know there's always a possibility your number gets pulled. So if they know, if everyone in town knows there's a process and that once, you could be the one who's pulled out to get audited, your chances of trying to go around it are going to be less.
I have one from the study of the tax. Not,
Through the chair, though, I do like that because there's always a it's almost like a drug test. It's always a possibility, so you keep it safe.
we'll leave it the way it is now.
Well, do we have to vote to let them do the one or?
No. not
No?
now.
You
That's
could
something
just-
we can do operationally. I don't. Thank you.
Well, the point that the manager is bringing it up as well as Frank is because, we talked about it. And I think it's time for us to kind of look at this. So that's fine.
Right?
All right, next item is.
Chair,
yes.
Excuse me 1 second, Madam Attorney. We lost quorum.
Yeah, I know that, but we're not going to vote. We're just going to talk.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, upon voting, we have to have the quorum.
Perfect.
I know.
Just
That portion I know.
Okay.
There's our
got
quorum.
quorum.
Yes. All right, the special events position, town manager.
So,
Special events position.
Yes, through the chair, we did a whole exercise and we came back where we started. We created a parameters and we're able to accommodate in a position funded by the tourist board that will be present here similarly to how our current communications manager is present. So the marching orders will be loud and clear. I would just be through Frank and myself as well as the bumpers in the road, if that makes sense. We presented to you a job description, I believe. We set forth a pay range of 80 to 85 a year. If this board feels it satisfactory, we will proceed to have the authorization for the expenditure from this board and we'll proceed to look for the job. 80, 85 with the, but that has additionally a, the burden rate. Do you recall what that was, Frank? It's, no, so it's, obviously the fiscal year started, so it'd be a lesser amount. I'll apply a quick burden rate of 40, assuming the person has a family and it goes through all the benefits.
Because in addition are the benefits.
119. Good number there, Frank. Yep, 119. We're seeking from the board 119K to fund a position as well as the benefits affiliated with it. That's why the 119. It's for the incurred costs of the burden rates, which is the healthcare, the workers' comp, liability insurances. If the board wishes to fund a position,
So we went from 80 to 119 now?
80 is what the person,
Oh, 80 is the basic.
yeah,
And we feel we need that high of a salary for this position?
80 to 85 is an effective salary, I feel, for this position. This is a position, it'll be a salary position. They'll be here plenty. They'll be here at the events. It's consistent with with another position in that manager scale, since it is a manager position, in this case, managing the special events. It's in line with what's in the market. It's still more cost effective than the consultant, but I'll leave it for you to discuss. We'll ultimately advertise it at what you authorize, but you want to bring someone effective, you got to pay them something effective.
And
80 to 85 is what the range came in for.
And they would be reporting directly to you, but their primary job would be our board.
That's correct. Their job is to be the representative, the liaison to this board. They will do all the marching orders of this board. We will also give them some events, not a lot. I'll tell you, a third year Champlain Towers anniversary, they'll probably handle. We don't do a lot of events.
Some of the big parks and rec things when they do like the winter wonderland probably or stuff like that are community.
They would assist Parks and Recs for these, but Parks and Recs they self perform their own events with their own resources.
I want to make comments.
Yeah, anything else from you?
No, I give you the information based on how the stats came in, and I turn it over
Well,
to you.
I think in my opinion, we already increased $30,000 to pay extra for all the staff that is going to help in the events. We at this point we have been designing all the events. We have been handling to be talking to vendors to increase. I think we already are full of events. To in this point to hire this new position, special event position, and I hear many critiques from the town, from the neighbors, that we are spending too much money in many things. I think for me, it's too much to pay this, I think, for what we are looking for. And we have been handled all this work anyway. I mean, and in addition to benefits and everything, like Hector mentioned, because is that right? I think it's too much. It's not what we were thinking in the beginning.
Yeah, I think we originally were thinking, 60, 80,000 total.
Yeah.
And that's, 5% of our budget. Now we're up to 10% of our budget on a good year.
Yeah.
If that ends up being a good year, if we get to a bad year, all of a sudden that funding starts to get tight.
And that's an employee.
That's an employee, and the idea
Mhm.
How do
behind.
you let go of an employee then?
And then at the end is,
I don't,
I think we could,
I'm not for it.
we
I'm
should put it in
personally-
hold.
Yeah, I think we should.
We
put on-
should put it
I
in
mean, we
hold.
definitely, this is something we should be doing with the whole board for sure.
True. You
Yeah.
know, I like doing things sort of with the whole board, but I have second thoughts on this.
Yeah, it's a much pricier thing than
Yeah,
we.
it's too
Yeah.
much. It's now wearing the double that we were thinking.
All right, so let's continue moving the wheel and see where we end up with this. Because first we started with a contract person, and now we're switching to an employee, and now we're looking at benefits. And in other words, also what Ben said, in a good year is fine, just like the audit. As long as the money keeps coming in, you don't pay attention. But if you, instead of 5 million, you had 100,000, then you'll pay a little bit more attention on what's coming in. So I think that we, not to place the position on hold, but I think we need have further conversation on this.
Through the chair, 119, if you think about, that could be based on what your events go to, 5 to 6 events. So would you rather fund 5 to 6 events from it sounds like we're building a fleet of various vendors. That's 5 to 6 events, or you hire one person that has to deliver at least 5 to 6 events. For me, that's just break even, how you would see
The
it.
question is, can that person deliver a full service event like we have out there? Can they do a full art show? Can they do something at that level? And the answer is probably no to that.
No.
They're going to be there to coordinate everything and run things. But at the end of the day, anything at that magnitude, they're not going to be able to run. They could run a $5,000 event, $10,000 event.
Through the chair, best case scenario, they'll have to build up that type of networking with vendors, and that won't happen year 1 or year 2. Eventually, they may be able to, but not year 1, year 2.
I think we better place this on
Yeah.
further thoughts. Okay. You feel the same?
Yeah. No, I think.
Diana, you feel the same? Fine. All right, we'll move to the next one, Eventbrite funding.
Thank you, Chair. This is just a quick item. The Eventbrite platform, which is widely known as the number one platform for promoting events and tickets to events, has now instituted a premium fee. If you push a certain number of events, there's a certain fee that you need to pay. So I'm just trying to find the memo. I know it's not a lot of money. but we do-
1920.
1920. Okay, yes. So we are seeking that authorization just to ensure that we can continue to promote the events through the platform.
But we don't have that many people who really go to Eventbrite to reserve, right?
But it promotes the events to the community. So the number one place you would
Okay.
go to find out, hey, what's happening in Miami this weekend is Eventbrite. So if you're not listed there, you're really at a
Okay. And the cost is 160 to 250.
How much?
100,
a month.
160 a month.
Yes. 100.
But if we don't increase, they are going to promote anyway, right? If we don't increase. It's because Eventbrite promote everyone, even for free.
No, we wouldn't be able to list our events on there. So,
No?
I mean, we would list them on our website and on other websites, but again, that's the number one website for events. So, You know, I really feel like if we're gonna invest in so many events, that
It's $160 a month.
a month, yeah.
I think we should continue.
Yeah, I strongly
It's
recommend.
$1,900 impact, right?
Yes.
That would be fixed.
And we have a promotional budget for that already?
That would come from the events, the additional events, yeah.
I mean, it's pretty standard out there. I think everybody
Yeah.
does it.
Yeah.
I think, okay, do I hear a
That's
motion
it.
to approve this?
Motion to approve. 6G.
To approve 19,000, is that what it is,
No,
Frank?
1,920.
1,900.
1,900.
Agenda item
Year.
6G.
For fiscal year '24. Is that your motion, sir?
Yes.
Ma'am?
Second.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Next item is beach waste receptacle sleeves. I think I like that.
Thank you, Chair Hector, if you wanna,
Well,
manager.
Thank you, Frank. I'll keep it real brief, Chair. What we currently have for trash are ugly. You can see the trash right through it. They're aging. They're rusted. We're just trying to implement something that makes it a little bit more classier in the beach. We found this good product, which is they're cost effective. First of all, $7 to $10 a sleeve, branded. But you could have Surfside, visit Surfside. You could have whatever you want branded on them. They're easy to replace, easy to maintain by our public works personnel. And what they do is they create consistency and uniformity across the beach. They hide the ugly trash exposed. They help contain the trash. We thought it was an effective implementation.
I have a question on the sleeve.
yeah, me too.
The trucks, Miami-Dade County empties out the garbage.
That's correct.
Okay, my question is, do these sleeves are, how should I say it, strong enough to support
I don't
the
think so.
picking up
Yeah.
with jaws of life and then
Mhm,
to the truck
mhm.
and then back out? That's my question. I mean, if it only lasts one time, it's not worth it. But
I-
if durable, I think it'll be much more presentable if we can put Surfside in it.
And also, what, may I shoot? Okay. Because we're going to keep the same metal
Yeah,
cans,
that's
right?
standard. Yeah, that's
And the
fine.
problem with that is that people throw liquids, throw a lot of trash. I don't know, that material is the same question. It's gonna be wet and dirty immediately. You don't think? What is the kind of material? I would like to see the material. I think the material is a key because we have to keep. You see, everything the leaves are in plastic container, not in the metal. And I don't know how resistant will be the material. Is the question. No, I know, but no, that the one that they are having in the example is plastic. But
One on the top?
everything is plastic there. It's not metal. Do we have
but that's-
metal?
Those containers are provided by Miami-Dade County. We don't provide those.
Exactly.
All right, here's my question then. How much did you say they cost, those sleeves?
Through the chair, $7 to $10. They would
Each?
each.
Each? I
How
think we
lo-
ought to give it a try.
Well, I mean, if
It'll-
yeah, if it makes it look better for sure. But the question is,
It
are
lasts.
these one-time use operations, and are they going to start to smell?
lasts.
That's what I
Like,
said.
Through the chair, the material is nylon. It's high quality. It's synthetic. It's elastic. So when the grapple grabs it, if there's somewhat of a pinch, it's still elastic enough to be able to work with that friction. They will have to be replaced. My recommendation is try it out. It's better than what we have now, and let's see if it works. My recommendation is you're probably going to replace them maybe perhaps once every quarter. That, or at least a few of them, so that way you can keep them in good conditions. But even if it's once every quarter, it's still worth it.
Yeah, if that's,
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't have to replace it every week,
No.
and they don't get damaged by the process, I think it's worth it because, it enhances the trash.
For the liquids, darker color will mitigate that. If they were ever, the good thing about these are sleeves. We pull them and wash them. We can wash them. They're like
They
cloth,
don't have
heavy
holes,
cloth.
yeah.
My advice: try it out, see how it goes.
Like, what happens if someone dumps a can of tuna fish on it? Is that going to stink for the next?
We do have a beach custodian, so part of their job would be to have a sack of sleeves if they need to replace them. Just like they replace trash bags in our trash cans, so it just have to be part of the maintenance process. If we
But
want to
you-
test pilot it, we can.
You feel comfortable with it?
I wouldn't bring it forth here, but I didn't feel comfortable and didn't think it was a good addition. You will replace them, but again, it's once a quarter is what I estimate.
I think,
I think that you like it.
no, the truth is that I know it is nylon. I am concerned that it's going to be not too much, but I agree with Hector. We can try at least once to see one set, and then we see, because I see how the people throw liquids
Okay, how
and
many?
water and many things, and nylon is nylon.
Yeah, how many containers are we talking about, Mr. Manager?
Approximately 30 containers,
30
30 to
containers
45, 30.
at a
And
cost
each
of
is seven?
$300.
It's what we're seeking for is really minimal. I can proceed under my spending authority to do it, but I just thought it was a good tourism initiative. If you wanted to brand it,
Can we
take
brand
that
it with
Yeah.
Surfside and all that stuff on
You
it?
could do the visit Surfside.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to approve a beach waste receptacle sleeves at a cost of approximately
How much?
$350?
I would,
You have 800 on the memo.
Through the
Huh?
chair, I just want to make
Please,
sure, 'cause
please.
Randy said it was 77 cans, so that's the calculation I made.
Oh, that's
go by what Randy told you.
Okay.
I'm counting just the beach, but you're right. There's some on the hard pack. Yes.
Yeah,
Move,
okay.
Randy.
So how
And-
many we talking?
And actually, we want,
77,
you definitely
Oh,
want
so
to do
that changes
both.
my numbers.
How much?
800.
about $800.
Yeah, I mean, I was putting 350.
And by the way, it might be that the ones on the path hold up much better than ones on the beach, and we stop doing the beach, we only do the path or something like that. So
Right. So we're looking at a budget
800.
expenditure of 800, approximately $800.
Frank, was that with the artwork? Was it to be clean 1,000 for the artwork setup or?
That's just the sleeve. I don't know. I didn't see an option for,
Oh, there's various vendors.
I don't know, I think it's too much to spend 800 just to try.
No, I think it would look a hell of a lot better.
No, yeah, I know,
I
but
mean, right now, they are gross.
800 is just for one set?
For everything.
For
all
all
of
of them.
them.
Every-
77
Yeah, I know,
cans.
but
77 cans. They're going to do the whole town, and then we'll have a real.
the whole, that can,
Yeah, and you
so-
won't have the same type of trash throughout the mile,
Yeah,
you know, because you have different people, like for instance, if you have the surf club area,
okay.
you won't have the same trash as you would have on 96th Street. Because it'll be less tourism, I mean, less visitors than, let's say, the surf club.
Mhm.
Surf club take care of themselves anyways. So $800 for an expenditure like this, hence the appearance of the trash cans, I think it's great. It's just like I seen, huh?
it will make a difference when we use beach photography. Like we have to Photoshop them out every time because they're
Right,
so
they
ugly.
they look ugly,
They're
right?
also very, they're
Right.
every 20 feet, so it's hard to get a photo without them.
Right. Okay, so do I hear?
Well, I think we need to make sure we get Surfside items. So what budget are we giving you? But no, 800 was without the artwork. So how much money do you need to do it with the artwork?
They
We
don't
need
have-
to look into that branding option, but I mean, if you can authorize up to 800, we can get
I think
as
I
many
think we need
branded
to
as possible.
authorize 1,000 just to
Yeah,
play it
do it
safe.
that up to
Through the chair,
1,000.
thank you.
Up to two.
Yeah, I think to play it safe, I think we need
Yeah.
to budget for 1,000.
Minimum, we get extras and we keep
So-
extras and
Right, I think so. Do I
Until
hear a
we,
motion on
until
that?
we see that, how it works.
Motion to approve the beach
$1,000.
trash receptacles up to $1,000
With the artwork.
with the artwork.
Do I hear a second?
Yeah, second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, motion carries.
Okay. Next item is
Public comments?
public comments. I now open it to the public. Any speaker cards, ma'am?
No?
No speaker
Okay.
cards? Not having any speaker cards, I close the public comments. Board member comments, any further comments?
No?
Okay, the next meeting is set for December 4th. If everybody's okay with it,
Yes, yes.
and now I entertain a motion to adjourn.
A motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in
Aye.
favor, say aye. Any opposed, motion carries.
Thank you so very much, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving.
Right.